Just to preface this video, I am going to assume that you saw my last video about my disabilities, which I will link in the description and possibly the iCard if that's still a thing. Parts of this will reference that video and my disabilities, and I will not go into much detail. So, if you want to know more about it, please go and watch that other video. A service animal is an animal that's trained to mitigate a disability. Different regions have different definitions for what a service animal is. In Ontario, Canada specifically, there is no specification for what species or even a requirement of tasks. If an animal mitigates your disability and you have a doctor's note, that animal is a service animal. In contrast, the U.S. does restrict the species down to dogs and miniature horses. The U.S. does demand that you have tasks that the dog performs. It does specifically say that species outside of those two, regardless of task training, are not service animals. You will probably find in different regions that there are different requirements. It is up to you to do that research. Tasks are actions that a dog or miniature horse performs that mitigates their handler's disability. What might be a task for one person could be a simple trick for another. For example, a dog could be trained to alert their handler to the sound of a smoke detector. This would be a task for somebody who is deaf or hard of hearing, but could be a simple trick for somebody who, say, has diabetes. Tasks also can be used in a variety of situations and ways for different disabilities, and may not always be obvious what they're for. If somebody says that a task mitigates their disability, please take their word for it, as you don't know their situation. Despite the combination of tools and trusted people in my life, my ability to participate has been limited. My strategies for sensory overload are all preventative, meaning if I get in over my head, I am kind of screwed. Or, since I've started using a mobility device, I am down to having one hand to help me open doors, carry stuff, and that hand is on the weaker side and is also painful on a significant number of days. In short, a service dog would help me fill in the gaps that my tools either create or just simply do not fill. And it would be unreasonable for me to expect to have a human on hand 24/7 to help me with these things. So a service dog just seemed to be the best option for me. Following me over the summer, you'll know that Saria has been filling the role of an in-home service dog. This is because she washed about a year ago due to excitement-based reactivity. During that time, I've been working on it, and the problem has been mostly resolved to the point where I just need to perfect her ignoring dogs. As such, I decided to bring her back as a part-time service dog in training, as I continue to work in the background to bring a service dog prospect home. So if she fails to make it as a service dog or drops out of training again, it is of no consequence, as I have a backup plan that I'm not putting on pause. We have a long way to go, that is for sure, and a lot of refinement to do. But I am looking forward to this journey. Bending down to pick items up has ranged from painful to potentially dangerous because of my poor balance and the development of my dizziness. It is for this reason that Saria is trained to retrieve items for me, as I no longer have to risk falling to grab my phone after dropping it for the 7th time in an hour.
Helping me navigate my environment is one of the most important reasons I've pursued a service dog. Most would think of the visually impaired with this task, but when I use it, it is because I've gone into sensory overload and I've started to wander, or I need help escaping crowds, or my light sensitivity has gotten really bad. Deep pressure therapy is a response task that I use to help me calm down after an anxiety attack or a panic attack, or help remain present after dealing with sensory overload.